Hi guys, this is Jerry, welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to do a second drive about the BAIC X55. Well, BAIC is a very new company in the New Zealand market. I've done a quick walk around and drive for the last BAIC X55, but in today's video, I want to focus on POV drive to offer you the best driving impression about this vehicle to let you know all my thoughts about it. First thing, quick walk around for the exterior part. The BAIC X55 is a mid-size SUV. It is just over 4.6 meters long with a wheelbase over 2.73 meters long. I quite like the front look of the bike. It kind of reminds you of the Omoda C5 or Omoda 5 in some way, but this design came out way before the Omoda 5, let's put it that way. On the side, alloys looks alright, side profile looks okay, you got some two-tone colors and things like that, black trims, black roof rails on the top and things like that. The overall proportion on this vehicle looks fun. It's got quad exhaust pipes and a 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol motor, so pure petrol only. The good thing about the BAIC X55 is its spec level. At the launch offer of $34,990 plus ORC, the BAIC X55 comes with everything you're going to see in this video. Power tailgate is one of them, panoramic sunroof, electric leather seats, and also heating, cooling seats at the front, plus surround view cameras, things like that. So it's very, very well spec'd. Underneath, apart from some storage, you are going to get a space saver. You're going to get 350 liters when the seats are all the way, and then when the seats are dropped flat, 1,200 liters of total volume. For the back space, it's not too bad actually. For the size of this car, which is very similar to a Toyota RAV4, you got plenty of legroom with my sitting position at the front being 178 centimeters tall. Pockets over here, single USB charging, two air vents with armrest just over here. As we mentioned, a panoramic sunroof on the top. The door opening feels really wide, feels nice, but the material quality is okay. Feels a little bit cheap on some part, feels okay on the other part. It's got keyless entry. That just means when you approach the vehicle, the flush door handle will pop out. Not my favorite, but it works kind of. And then step inside, you got this BAIC steering, 10.25-inch display on the drive cluster, 10.1-inch display in the infotainment screen. The driver cluster allows you to have 3 design to change. You are able to change some graphics on the right and things like that. It's okay, I do not have a complaint about that. Moving to the center, this is a rather small screen. BAIC says they may improve this in the next update or new model for later this year and things like that with the larger screen. At the moment, the screen will have all the aircon controls over here to allow you to control these things, and you have wireless Apple CarPlay, but no wireless Android Auto unless you plug into an adapter. Radio control is there, 360 view cameras there, and you do have some functions like your settings for the vehicle and settings for the screen and system. The response time is average, but at least it's more usable than the BAIC B30 we saw earlier. It's okay, it's not too bad. And center console, you get a phone pad over here. They are not charging, instead here is the wireless charging pad. Single cup holder, which is really annoying as you do have a storage underneath, but no other cup holders at the front. Gear shifter and handbrake, which are okay. So, without further ado, let's get this on the road. Drivetrain for the BAIC X55 is pure petrol only, although the vehicle looks like an electric vehicle from the exterior styling. Anyway, 1.5 litre turbocharged petrol motor with 4-cylinder engine at the front. You're going to get 138 kilos of power, 305 Newton meters of torque. This vehicle is only available in its front-wheel drive drivetrain, and on top of that, the transmission is a 7-speed DCT dual clutch transmission. At low speed, pick up and go, it feels okay. The transmission doesn't really lag or anything like that, but you're going to get a small hesitation here and there when you go over a certain, takeoff and things or stop sign, things like that. Taking off is fairly easy. I wouldn't say there will be any issue getting to any speed. The power on this vehicle is actually pretty good for what this vehicle offers. You are going to get quite a good amount of kilowatts out of this 1.5 4-cylinder motor. Let's do a small acceleration. 1, 2, 3. After some sort of reaction time, the vehicle will start kicking, and it's alright. Power delivery is quite smooth when you go up to a certain speed, and DCT works okay. At this price point, I think this is alright for a DCT transmission. In terms of the driving, handling wise, it's got MacPherson struts at the front, multi-link suspension at the back. You are going to get a lot of more soft approach for what this vehicle is like on the road. So it's reasonably soft, but at the same time, when you go through any bumps or uneven surfaces, you're going to still feel pretty much everything on the road: potholes, speed humps, and things like that. The visibility on this vehicle is excellent. You got great clearance at the front, on the side, and things like that. The noise level on this vehicle is there's quite a bit of noise from the wind, from the road, from the tires and things. It's not going to be the most quietest cabin in comparison, but at this price range, it's okay. It's more like a standard. You're not going to get the best cabin experience in this vehicle, by the way. In terms of handling, this vehicle doesn't offer you anything special on the handling part. It's okay in terms of being a solid vehicle on open road at high speed. At low speed is reasonably light, and overall, even if you change the vehicle to sport mode, the steering still feels a bit laggy when you try to turn, when you try to do anything. It's not the most responsive dynamic handling, but at this price point, being a family vehicle, it's probably again gonna be the standard on many other vehicles. If you want something just a bit better in terms of driving, in terms of chassis performance, the MG HS has a better drivability out of the drivetrain for sure. But overall, the package on this vehicle is still very good and still a very valuable package at $35,000. You're going to get so many features where many traditional or non-traditional manufacturers cannot offer. So yeah, that's my second drive about the BAIC X55. What do you think about this vehicle? Please let me know in the comment down below. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.